The driver of a semi-truck died in a collision this morning on the Alaska Highway.
Northbound 329 over 0, semi-burst span, huge fireball, unknown if it's still on fire.
37, we should probably just shut down the freeway northbound at Highway 20. It's going to make things a lot easier. This fire is pretty big.
After our last list, hundreds of drivers flooded the comments with the passes we left out, the ones that haunt them more than anything on the original 20. So here are 11 more mountain passes that separate rookies from veterans, straight from the people who drive them for a living. Number 1. White Pass, Alaska. -50 degrees, a border crossing between two countries, and a road the Klondike Gold Rush stampeders once called a death trap on foot, long before trucks ever attempted it. White Pass connects Skagway, Alaska to Whitehorse in Canada's Yukon, climbing nearly 3,000 feet in 9 miles through terrain so steep and exposed that early prospectors nicknamed it Dead Horse Trail. Modern truckers face avalanche zones, whiteout squalls that roll in without warning, and pavement that turns to sheet ice the moment temperatures drop. Add international customs stops mid-mountain, and you've got a route where bureaucracy and blizzards test drivers in equal measure. Drivers who run this corridor treat it as true wilderness driving, carrying satellite communicators for the dead zones and checking road advisories before they ever leave Skagway, because out here, help isn't minutes away, it's hours. Number 2. Ashland Hills, Siskiyou Summit, Oregon, over 4,000 feet of elevation on Interstate 5, the very same interstate that runs flat and easy through most of California. Siskiyou Summit, near Ashland, Oregon, catches drivers off guard precisely because I-5 feels so predictable everywhere else. This stretch climbs sharply through the Siskiyou Mountains, with grades steep enough that runaway ramps line the descent into the Rogue Valley. Winter brings sudden ice storms that coat the pavement in minutes, while wildfire smoke in late summer can cut visibility just as badly as any snowstorm. Truckers who've never driven mountain routes often hit this pass expecting another flat interstate mile, and that expectation alone has caused countless jackknifes. Veteran drivers keep 6 chains on board from October through May, regardless of the forecast, and treat this summit with the same respect they'd give a real mountain pass, because the danger here isn't the grade, it's underestimating it. It's a reminder that the most dangerous roads aren't always the ones with a scary reputation. Sometimes it's the one nobody warned you about. Number 3. Loveland Pass, Colorado. 11,990 feet, high enough that this is one of the few passes in Colorado where hazardous material trucks are still required to use it instead of the tunnel below. Loveland Pass exists specifically because the Eisenhower Tunnel bans certain hazmat loads, forcing those drivers over the actual summit instead of underneath it. That means tight switchbacks, thin oxygen, and sudden alpine weather changes, all while hauling cargo that can't afford a single mistake. Snow falls here nearly every month of the year, and whiteout conditions have stranded hazmat convoys at the summit more than once. Drivers who run this route regularly swear by heavier-duty chains rather than the lighter twist-link setups, since a single drive axle has almost nothing left in reserve at this altitude, and many will simply wait out a storm at the base rather than push through when the pass turns to ice. It's a pass built entirely around risk management, the mountain nobody wants to drive, reserved for the loads nobody else is allowed to carry underneath it. Number 4. Lookout Pass, Idaho. Nearly 4,000 feet of elevation sitting directly on the border between Idaho and Montana, catching lake effect-style snow squalls off the surrounding mountains that can dump over a foot in a matter of hours. Lookout Pass along Interstate 90 feels deceptively manageable in summer, but winter transforms it into one of the most heavily chained sections of interstate in the entire region. Truckers report sudden whiteouts here that drop visibility from clear skies to near zero within minutes, especially near the summit where wind and snow combine into a genuine ground blizzard. The border location also means jurisdiction confusion during closures, with Idaho and Montana crews sometimes clearing opposite sides of the same mountain independently. Experienced drivers build extra hours into their schedule before they even approach this stretch in winter, and many keep a detour through Sandpoint mapped out ahead of time, since waiting out an avalanche closure here can mean sitting for the better part of a day with no clear reopening estimate. It's proof that state lines don't stop snowstorms, and neither do they make coordination any easier. Number 5. Red Mountain Pass, Colorado. Locals call this stretch the Bloody Bear Pass, and that nickname didn't come from nowhere. Red Mountain Pass connects Ouray to Silverton along the same corridor as the Million Dollar Highway, but this specific section climbs even higher, cresting above 11,000 feet with grades and blind curves that have claimed vehicles for over a century, dating back to when mule trains hauled ore through the same mountains. There are still no guardrails on long stretches, and avalanche chutes cross directly over the roadway in multiple locations, meaning snowslides aren't a rare event here. They're an expected seasonal hazard. Colorado closes this pass regularly for avalanche control, sometimes detonating explosives to trigger slides before they happen naturally and bury a truck mid-route. Drivers who know this road never trust the parking brake as their only safeguard on a stop, chalking wheels before they so much as open the door, and plenty of experienced haulers simply avoid the pass entirely during active storms, rerouting through Grand Junction rather than gambling on a road with no guardrail and an 800-foot drop. It's a road where the danger isn't hidden, it's advertised right there in the name locals still use. Number 6. Wolf Creek Pass, Colorado. A 10% grade for 7 miles straight, steep enough that it inspired an entire country song about a truck losing its brakes on the descent, and the song wasn't exaggerating by much. Wolf Creek Pass sits near 11,000 feet, catches over 400 inches of snow most years, and drops trucks down a grade so relentless that brake fires remain a documented recurring hazard here. Runaway ramps line the descent, not for decoration. They get used regularly by drivers who misjudged their downhill speed. Truckers are trained to downshift well before the summit rather than during the descent itself, because once momentum builds on Wolf Creek, slowing back down safely becomes nearly impossible. The state's own advisory boils it down to one habit that actually saves lives here: checking brakes thoroughly at the summit before starting down, staying in low gear the entire 8-mile descent, and never riding the brakes continuously, since it's the heat buildup, not the grade itself, that turns a manageable hill fatal. It's the pass that taught an entire generation of drivers to respect grade signs. Number 7. Cabbage Hill, Oregon. A 6% grade dropping nearly 2,000 feet over roughly 7 miles, earning this stretch of Interstate 84 near Pendleton its unsettling nickname, Dead Man Pass, right alongside the more common Cabbage Hill. Sudden ice storms form in the canyon below with almost no warning, catching drivers who were driving clear pavement just minutes earlier completely off guard. Oregon closes this stretch for extended periods most winters, sometimes stranding well over 100 trucks in a line that backs up along the shoulder for miles. Locals recall entire convoys parked overnight waiting out conditions too dangerous even for chains to handle. The descent demands careful gear selection from the summit, since riding the brakes here has led to documented failures on the steepest final sections, and veteran drivers get into their descent gear well before the grade even starts, rather than trying to slow down mid-hill. Some drivers who know the area avoid Cabbage Hill entirely during the worst storms, taking a longer detour south through Ukiah on 2-lane roads instead, adding significant miles just to stay off the grade until conditions clear. Number 8. Monteagle Mountain, Tennessee. Over 100 crashes, some years on a single stretch of Interstate 24, enough that Tennessee eventually built an entirely separate runaway truck ramp system specifically for this mountain. Monteagle Mountain climbs and drops through the Cumberland Plateau between Nashville and Chattanooga, with grades steep enough that brake failure remains one of the leading causes of crashes here every single year. Fog rolls in off the plateau with almost no warning, cutting visibility just as trucks hit the steepest section of descent. Tennessee installed a truck speed monitoring system here specifically because so many drivers were losing control on the way down, one of the only mountains in the country with dedicated technology just to catch speeding trucks before they crash. The drivers who never smoke a break here treat the mandatory stop at the top as non-negotiable, dropping into low gear before they cross that line, rather than after, relying on the engine to hold their speed the entire way down, so the service brakes barely get touched at all. It's a mountain that forced an entire state to rethink its highway engineering. Number 9. Fancy Gap, Virginia. 45 vehicles, one single pileup, all triggered by fog that dropped visibility to almost nothing within seconds. That's exactly what happened on Fancy Gap in 2023, a stretch of Interstate 77 near the Virginia and North Carolina border, notorious for sudden fog banks rolling off the mountainside. This corridor connects Charlotte to the Virginias, carrying heavy freight traffic through elevation changes that create their own microclimate, one side of the mountain clear, while the other is swallowed in mist within a quarter mile. Add a steep grade and sharp curves on top of that, and a fully loaded rig can go from clear skies to zero visibility before the driver even has time to react. Emergency crews here train specifically for mass casualty pileups because this scenario has repeated itself more than once. Drivers who respect this hill treat any sudden drop in visibility as an automatic order to slow down hard, since the fog doesn't build gradually here. It arrives like a wall, and some truckers say they'd rather sit parked on the shoulder for 20 minutes than push through a bank they can't see the end of. Number 10. Donner Pass, California. Over 34 feet of snow in a single season. A name forever tied to one of the most infamous survival stories in American history. Donner Pass, connecting Sacramento to Reno through the Sierra Nevada, carries a legacy of danger that predates trucks entirely, but modern drivers face their own version of that same legacy today. Chain control laws are mandatory during storms, and CHP turns away any rig without proper equipment, sometimes leaving drivers stranded for hours waiting out a closure. The grade, combined with sudden lake effect snow squalls off nearby Lake Tahoe, can bury the interstate in under 30 minutes, catching drivers who checked the forecast that same morning completely off guard. Veterans who run this route keep the state's road condition line saved and call it constantly on the approach, since chain requirements here can flip from minimum to maximum within the hour, and the ones who've been doing this for decades all agree on one rule: no dispatcher gets to decide how a driver handles the mountain. That call stays with the person behind the wheel. It's a pass where history and modern logistics collide on every single storm. Number 11. Black Mountain, North Carolina. The highest point east of the Mississippi River sits just off this route, and the elevation alone creates weather patterns unlike anywhere else along Interstate 40 through western North Carolina. Black Mountain grade climbs and drops through the Blue Ridge Mountains near Asheville, with fog forming so consistently that locals joke the mountain makes its own clouds. Runaway truck ramps line the descent, and Tennessee and North Carolina crash data both point to this stretch as one of the most brake failure-prone grades in the entire Appalachian chain. Sudden downpours common to the region turn the roadway slick within minutes, adding hydroplaning risk to an already steep curving descent. Drivers who know this mountain get into the correct gear at the summit and never try to correct their speed halfway down. And when the interstate itself has been closed for major slides in the past, officials have had to remind drivers not to trust GPS routing onto narrow back roads never built for an 18-wheeler, since more than one truck has ended up stuck on a mountain road meant for passenger cars while trying to dodge the closure. It's a mountain that generates its own danger simply by existing at that elevation. Proof that sometimes the terrain itself is the threat. No ice or wind required.